Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Your favorite season is back, and now's the time you can score savings at the Team Automotive Group. You can sell your vehicle to us, and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Score VIP service and save at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome to Take 2 of the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. That's an inside joke. Y'all don't have to worry about that. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last time we had to spend some time with you and yours. As we typically do each and every show, we start with Louisiana news. You know, as you get older in life and you tell your kids certain things, lay down the law on rules of the house and rules to live by. If you're fortunate enough to live long enough, you see and experience verification of those things. One of the things that I taught my daughter early in life is that if you don't put yourself in certain situations, you will never have to worry about regretting being in that situation. Louisiana State University Police Department announcing this week that their efforts in conjunction with local law enforcement resulted in the arrest of an individual charged with raping an LSU student at gunpoint in her dorm room. What is troubling about this case, aside from this individual raping a woman at gunpoint in the dorm, is that this was a guy that she met mere hours before on social media. You know, today's world, and we see it incessantly, today's world is chock full of people that have no respect for themselves, no respect for human life, no respect for decency, no respect for the laws of the land. And to think that you would invite someone into your dormitory room that you've only known for a couple of hours, and not after meeting them in person, but meeting them online. Sadly, this woman now, because of one irresponsible decision, and please don't get it twisted, I'm not blaming her in any form or fashion, but this was a really, really bad decision. And the fact of the matter is, God bless her, she's going to have to carry this for the rest of her life. Parents, talk to your children. Make sure that they are painfully aware that there are folks out there that are simply looking for the opportunity to victimize someone. And as sad a commentary as it is, you can't let your guard down these days. It is a different day. No two ways about it. In other Louisiana news, Albany High School announcing this week that they are going to forfeit the final game of the season against Bogalusa High School. Why, you ask? Well, they are fearing for the safety of the team, the parents, the fans, and those involved. Marty, is that you that I'm hearing? Thank you, sir. Following a deadly shooting after a game, they determined, sorry, but we can't put our team, coaches, fans, and others in an unsafe situation. This is an example of how one person's actions affect so many other people. I have no knowledge, inside knowledge whatsoever, about the murder of that 15-year-old at a game in Bogalusa High School. No knowledge at all. Obviously, there was some beef going on, or something was said or done at a game, and they took it the wrong way. It got out of hand. But a 15-year-old is dead as a result of it. Now, all of these cheerleaders, football players, all the other folks involved, coaches, that spent all this time since the summer getting ready for a season, now, and this would have been senior day, final time to put on the uniform, get on the field at your alma mater, the last chance that you get, the one that you will remember probably more than any other. But because of the selfish actions of one or a handful of people, all of that is now wiped out. Of course, now it is just symptomatic of what our society has become. These days, it's about me, 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 me. And to hell with everybody else. One person carries out a dastardly act, and now two entire student bodies get to pay the penalty for it. And quite frankly, you can't blame Albany High, because at the end of the day, it's still just a football game. And people's lives and their safety are more important. That's not to say that it was guaranteed it was going to be another shooting. Not saying that at all. But at the end of the day, are you willing to bet your life on it? I didn't think so. Finally, in Louisiana news, I need your help, guys and girls. There is something taking place that is threatening something that is the very essence of our Louisiana way of life. The shrimping industry is under attack. You guys and girls that are Louisianians know in no uncertain terms what the shrimping industry means to our state. The jobs it provides, the revenue that it brings to our state, and not to mention the best seafood on the planet. They're under assault now because according to this shrimpers task force that met this week in New Orleans, restaurants and seafood processors are importing foreign shrimp by the billions of pounds. We're talking, by their estimates, 2 to 2.5 billion pounds of cheaper, lower quality shrimp. Here's where I need your help. If what they're telling us is true, restaurants and seafood processors are buying these shrimp instead of Louisiana shrimp because they're cheaper. It increases their profit margin. I need your help. When you go out to eat and you look at the menu and the server comes to your table, yes, sir, what are you going to have? Or yes, ma'am, what are you going to have today? Well, I was thinking about the shrimp platter. Can you tell me, are these Louisiana shrimp? Or are these shrimp that have been imported from outside our country? If the answer is they're not Louisiana shrimp, either refuse to eat them or get up and leave. And let them know I'm going as a Louisianian to visit a Louisiana restaurant that serves Louisiana shrimp. If you and I, my fellow Louisianians, who understand the impact the shrimp industry has in our state, if you and I, Louisianians, who understand the best seafood there is Louisiana seafood, if we step up to the plate and let these folks know, if you continue to bring in cheap imported shrimp, lesser quality, and decimate our state's economy, we're not going to spend another nickel with you. You would be amazed, my fellow Americans, how quickly those imports of shrimp would dry up. You would look up and the restaurant that you walked out of because they aren't serving our native seafood, the next time you drove by or went to them, there would be signs in the window, signs on the door, proudly serving Louisiana shrimp. This is one of those things that we can have a direct impact on. And the fact of the matter is, we're talking about our economy, we're talking about our culture, we're talking about our heritage, our way of life. I would consider it a personal favor if you were to be sure the places you go to get your shrimp, that they're Louisiana shrimp. These folk have sacrificed too much. They have given of themselves too much. And that direct connection with our culture and our history is too deep to allow this to happen. First break of today's show. When we come back, we're going to talk about COVID-19 and forgive and forget. That's next when we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The 2022 Mazda CX-5 with iActive all-wheel drive and available turbo engine. It truly ignites the senses.
Save on your new CX-5 right now during the season of discovery at Team Mazda.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. You know, in recent memory, it's hard for me to recollect when we've gone through something that has had such a stark divide and such a radical departure from common sense, science, and the role of government in our lives. COVID-19 resulted in things being done in this country that I never thought I would witness as an American. This week, Emily Oster, a writer for The Atlantic, liberal, left-wing publication, entitled, quote, "Let's declare a pandemic amnesty." Subheading, "We need to forgive one another for what we did and said when we were in the dark about COVID." This article says that, in essence, well, you know, COVID was something that was unprecedented. We'd never dealt with before. And honestly, we were doing the best we could with what we had to work with. And yeah, we now know that the stuff we told y'all was a crock. We now know that the stuff we told y'all was a bunch of lies. And yeah, we now know that we were wrong for any number of reasons. But continuing to think about it, stops us from moving ahead. So we need to forgive and forget about the stuff we did and the stuff we said before we knew any better about COVID. When I read this story last night, I had to ask the God that I love and the God that I serve to help me grow to the point where I could do this. You know, if you pray the Lord's Prayer regularly, there's a line in that says, "Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us." Meaning, Lord, forgive me for the wrong that I've done to others, and I, in turn, will forgive others for the wrong that they've done me. I do not mind telling y'all, I ain't grown to that point yet. Lord, you're going to have to help me to get to the point where I could grant pandemic amnesty. Here's why. In this article in The Atlantic, what's this woman's name again? Emily Oster. I only want to remember it for this segment because I'll never read anything else this fool writes again in life. Not that I ever did to begin with, because it is in The Atlantic. She doesn't get it, as typically liberals / progressives typically don't get it. She misses the entire point. Yes, COVID was unprecedented. Yes, it was uncharted territory, uncharted waters. Yes. But that's not what we're upset about. There's an old adage, and my father taught this to us early in life. It's not what you did, it's the way you did it. Let's understand something here, y'all. Common sense would have, I'm going to channel my inner Barney Fife, would have nipped it in the bud, a lot of this crap. Common sense would have said, okay, if you get COVID, over 99% of the people that don't have a bunch of coexisting morbidities won't even know they had it. Common sense would say 99% of people that get COVID and don't have existing comorbidities will get over it. So why in God's name are you demanding that I take a shot? To this day, we have no idea what's in this stuff, and people are mysteriously, totally healthy people are dropping dead by the tens of thousands. A little bit of common sense would have cured all that. But again, it's not what you did, it's how you did it. Then those of us that had common sense and wanted nothing to do with that shot, y'all talked about us like dogs. You called us every ugly name in the book. As a matter of fact, y'all made up some new names to call us. Science denier, flat earther, selfish SOB that doesn't give a damn about the health, safety, and well-being of our fellow Americans. Y'all dogged us. But now you want us to forgive and let's move on. If that weren't bad enough, then, because you stupid You wanted to trample, and did, my civil and constitutional rights. People lost their jobs, their livelihoods over this foolishness. People are still trying to recover. Some never will from the damage inflicted upon them only because they had common sense and disagreed with you. But now, we need to forgive and forget. If all that weren't bad enough, you trampled on my civil and constitutional rights. You called me all sorts of ugly names only because I used common sense. Then you turned around and censored anything I had to say about it. Twitter, Facebook, mainstream media. If you dared say anything against the narrative, they shut you down. Wouldn't let you exercise your constitutional right as an American to have an opinion and to express it. But we need to forgive and move on. Not on your best day, sister. My late father also taught us, when you wrong someone, the first thing you do is apologize. The second thing you do is atone for that. You don't just get off scot-free just because I'm sorry. It ain't that kind of party, hoss. We don't roll like that. Oh no, when you get finished serving your prison sentence, well, then we'll talk about forgiveness. When you get finished paying restitution for the jobs that you cost and all the damage you inflicted on the minds of our children and our economy, then we'll talk about forgiveness. I love the good Lord above, so I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to ask him, Lord, help me to grow to that point, because I ain't nowhere near there yet, and don't think I'm going to be there anytime soon. But only a Democrat / liberal / progressive would dare not just think this way, but have the nerve to publish it for all the world to see. We need to forgive one another for what we did and what we said when we were in the dark about COVID. You do realize, do you not, that what she is saying is that the mainstream media, social media, Democrats, our nation's leadership, they all lied to you about COVID. That's what they're saying. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. We were in the dark. We didn't know. The rest of us knew. Why you think I don't have that mRNA crap in my body? Why you think old Clarence didn't take the shot? But I'm supposed to forgive and let's move on. You see how they play you? Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, it starts at the top. That's next. When we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Your favorite season is back, and now's the time you can score savings at the Team Automotive Group. You can sell your vehicle to us, and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Score VIP service and save at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. A gentleman that is very rapidly becoming a good friend comes by Old School Barbecue to watch the live taping of the show. And he and I were talking this morning casually before the show began. And he mentioned to me, Clarence, I don't think I've ever seen an administration in this country's history that lies so much. Not necessarily bending the truth, not stretching the truth, just flat out lying about stuff. Now, maybe, I was thinking, just maybe it's because nowadays we're simply paying more attention. Maybe in recent years, they were lying to us, but it wasn't so obvious, and it wasn't with the degree of regularity that we see it from the Biden-Harris administration. For example, and remember, the title of this segment is, it starts at the top. This week, the official White House Twitter account tweeted out the following, quote, "Seniors are getting the biggest increase in their Social Security checks in 10 years through Joe Biden's leadership." Y'all, really? Really? What we're talking about here is what's commonly called the COLA, C-O-L-A, cost of living adjustment. Back in 1972, 50 freaking years ago, then President Richard Nixon signed into law for Social Security the COLA. If the cost of living goes up, Social Security checks go up. So let's see. Because of Joe Biden's policies, everything now costs more. Inflation. The cost of living has gone up because of his policies, which means Social Security checks are going up because the cost of living has gone up. And only a Democrat / liberal / progressives would try to take credit for this. Well, it's because of Joe Biden's leadership that you're getting the biggest check you've gotten in 10 years. No, we are getting the big check because of the disastrous policies of Joe Biden. Now, you got to ask yourself, do you think Joe Biden really tweeted this? Joe's sitting around the Oval Office. Everything's fine. Economy's booming. Crime is at an all-time low. We've already solved the supply chain crisis. I don't have anything to do. Where's my cell phone? Let me tweet something. That ain't what happened, y'all. What's really, really disturbing about this guy has a staff for this. And whomever it was that tweeted this obviously has no freaking clue how the Social Security system works. Either that or they don't care that they're lying. Or, and Marty says, my money's on number 3, third option, they think you stupid. They think you're just plumb stupid. So, needless to say, well, you're right. Marty just said they know you're stupid. I mean, after all, 81 million of y'all voted for this clown. So they say. Wink, wink. Yeah, different show for a different day. So, let me get this straight. Joe didn't tweet this. Somebody on staff did. Did you not walk this up the chain? You know, something that the entire world's going to see from the office of the leader of the free world. I've got to imagine anything you tweet has got to go through people first. Boss, I got a great idea for a tweet. You want to see it? Well, yeah, let me see it before you send it out. Want to be sure it's factual. Want to be sure it's truthful. Want to be sure it's not going to make us look like you need help looking even more stupid than you are. Apparently, they walked it up the chain and still put it out there. So what they do, immediately when the backlash started, they took it down. So the media, in a follow-up with White House spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre, asked her, excuse us, why did y'all take the tweet down so quickly? You know, the one that everybody knows was a lie. Well, they say it wasn't really a lie. We took it down because we didn't put the context with it. Let me ask you something. If you and I, you and a neighbor, you and a friend are having a conversation and you tell them something and they tell you, no, bruh, that's a lie. And you ask, well, why do you think it's a lie? Well, because you didn't include this information, this part of the information, and that part of the information. Okay? You then sit them down and say, okay, here's this information, here's that information, here's the other information. And this is why I stand by my statement. It's the truth. Maybe I should have done a better job of giving you all the information so you could truly understand that what I'm telling you is the truth. That's not what they did. They claim, well, we took it down because we didn't give the context. So if this is a result of his bold leadership, and you're getting your butt kicked in all the polls heading into the midterms, conventional wisdom says you would give us the context and then you would retweet it. Because after all, it's true, right? Wink, wink. Isn't that what responsible, sensible, intelligent people do? Oh, look, you're missing context. Here's the context, and we'll retweet it. Nope. Ran and hid with that tweet. But not before Karine Jean-Pierre made it a point to say, well, the real problem here is the Republicans and how they are planning to decimate Medicare and Social Security. What the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Number one, that's another lie. That's another one. Number two, what does that have to do with the lie you just told? Of course, now, they can't really help themselves because, again, it starts at the top. Just this week, Joe Biden, the panderer in chief, goes to Delaware State and HBCU because they are so deathly afraid right now that their policies have been so bad that African Americans and Latino Americans that typically vote Democrat, they're like, nah, bruh, we're going to sit this one out. I can't vote for you. Look at what you've done to my wallet. Look what you've done to my neighborhood with crime. Look what you've done to my country with immigration. Have y'all noticed how many commercials on TV for wonderful gadgets that are made and sold? You notice how many of them now are saying, well, because the price is going up and supply chain crisis, we're no longer making this. Watch it. Keep an eye out for it. All of this because of Joe Biden. But Joe mentioned to a crowd of overwhelmingly African American students, because it's at an HBCU, I got my start at an HBCU, Delaware State. Bruh, you went to the University of Delaware. 2 separate schools. Now, for those of you that excuse this, well, you know, he just, see what happened was he misspoke because they're both in Delaware. And at the end of the day, you know, Joe old, he forgets stuff. So I don't hold that against him. I ask you this. Had it been a white conservative lying to the face of a room full, a university full of African American students, would you let it slide? That's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. We already know the answer. Then, of course, Joe this week, talking about health care, says, you know, I met and talked with the guy that discovered insulin. So they did a little research. The guy who is credited with discovering insulin died about 9 months before Joe Biden was born. But Joe had a conversation with him. I'm surprised this clown didn't. You know, when I was driving 18-wheelers, there's a guy on the side of the road looking for a ride, and I picked him up, and come to find out, he's the one that discovered insulin. And y'all voted for this man. Sucker. We tried to tell you. We tried. And like y'all typically do, you just called us all sorts of ugly names. Simple question. How's that working out for you? Oh, that's right. It ain't. Sorry, English teachers, I didn't give y'all the heads up that was coming. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I want to regress for just a second and mention something to you that's very important regarding the segment we did on pandemic amnesty, the article written in The Atlantic about we need to forgive and forget about what we did and what we said during COVID. Based on the percentage of my fellow Americans who rolled over and played dead to the government with COVID, do not be surprised, my fellow Americans, that we've not seen the last of this. I've got to imagine the powers that be, our so-called leaders, those in charge, even they have to be amazed at how many of us, well, how many of y'all, rolled over and played dead for the government. Never questioning, never arguing, simply following the stated line and doing what you were told. See, that's what happens when you fall asleep in American history class. That's what happens when you don't have a real appreciation of what this country was founded on and what it stands for. See, before we whipped that butt of the most powerful army on the planet, the British, before then, we lived in a society where one person, well, actually it was two, the king or the queen, raised their pale hand and decreed, I say, this is what y'all gonna do. And you had to do it. There was no recourse. And after a while, folks in this country said, you know what? You can take your hand and stick it somewhere because we ain't having it. We fought a war so that we no longer would be subjected to the government running our lives. This country, for those of you that don't know or cannot appreciate, was founded on the principle that I'll take care of myself. You just stay the hell out of my life. I will work as hard as I need to. I will study as much as I need to be able to discern the truth of whatever the situation is. You just stay the hell out of the way. Now, they've been working on your brain for so long, between the mainstream media, social media, and public education. They now have you at a point in time where you no longer possess the ability to think for yourself, and you're happy not thinking for yourself. The first thing you do is run to see what they say about this on Twitter, what they say about this on Facebook. How about you do some independent research and think for yourself? Oh, wait, that's right. They indoctrinated that out of you. You don't possess that ability anymore. And listen, y'all, I get it. I understand. It's easier and it's convenient to let somebody else do the thinking for you. I get it. Y'all have gotten so lazy and so busy with your whole head and other parts, sundry parts of your anatomy stuck up in this, that you no longer possess the ability to think for yourself. So it's easier. I'll let Twitter do my thinking for me. All I have to do is go there and they'll tell me. It's easier. I thought the other day, the number of people that read Yahoo News. Who in their right mind wants to get their news from a bunch of Yahoos? See what I did with that? Who in their right mind wants to get their news from a bunch of Yahoos? But at the end of the day, I ask you this. How is that working out for you? And how is it working out for America? Just a question. Big old feet in the way, bruh. I can't see. That's all right, I'll look around. But good help is hard to find these days. That big old size 12 out the way. Liberals, Democrats / progressives will destroy everything they touch. But only if you let them. Have you seen, I think I got enough time left to cover this story. Liberals can even destroy comedy. Have you noticed? We no longer have the ability to laugh at ourselves anymore. How many times have you heard me say, if you can't laugh at yourself, you have no right to laugh at anybody else? I tell people all the time, I got an 8 head. And they go, 8 head? I say, yeah. Normal people have a 4 head. Mine is twice as big as normal people. 4 times 2, I got an 8 head. I can laugh at myself. But that also means I can laugh at you. Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, goes to a Halloween party and dresses up as an official. Striped shirt, dark glasses, and what do you call that cane that visually impaired people use? It's white, yeah, with the red tip on the end. He goes as a blind referee. People have lost their minds. How dare you stigmatize the blind? Well, if you hadn't said anything, they never would have known. They couldn't see it. Just saying. If you can't laugh at yourself, you have no right to laugh at anybody else. Try laughing at a liberal and watch what happens. They destroy everything they touch. Law enforcement, education. Go down the list and you'll see, once again, your buddy Clarence telling you nothing but the truth. That being said, my time's up and I gotta go. But once again, this day, maybe more so than any other in history, I give it to you. You know what? You are so very spot on. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you know he loves you, and I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you soon. God bless.